Hello, hello, my lovely Pisces. Welcome to Vivid Vibration. My name is Christina. I hope that y'all are doing well. Pisces, you got the orphan, the king and the hunter, the threshold and the sustainer, and the one. Pisces, I just feel this sense of, the orphan is the idea of abandonment, right? It's just that like nothing is gonna, not, what am I doing and why am I doing this? Just like a whole feel, because I think for all of the different roles and things that you've tried on, like you have felt a sense of, you carry the frustration that other people have toward you, right? You feel that, like you sense the frustration and you can feel the burden of it. Like even if they're not saying it to you directly, you can feel them thinking, like, oh, I wish this person would just get it together. Oh, I just wish that they would figure their shit out. Oh, I just wish what? Again, I think this is a past energy that you're coming out of because like I just it's like a mode, like you're sitting and you're feeling your feels about it, and you're contemplating all of the things that people have said, and like, well, why can't I just fit into any of these things, and shouldn't I be able to just be happy with this, and and it's like, no, you can't just be happy with any of that because it's not what calls to your soul. And I'm sorry, but like Pisces operate on soul calls. Like that's just a fact. And I don't know which side of the story you're on, Pisces, because I do kind of feel like it depends on my Pisces, because I have a lot of Pisces in my life, honestly. But, I just kind of feel like there's a decision that's made, and I don't know if you're making the decision and you're just like, you know what, I'm doing this for me, and I'm going to take the action to go in the direction that I need to go because I'm tired of sitting around. Well, because even when you're sitting around, right? If you're learning about other people's perspectives, Pisces are kind of like natural anthropologists, like low key, because you can just slide into any environment and you don't feel the need to like make it yours, because you're like, no, that's them. Like, I want to understand them. I want to be able to, and so you have an appreciation, I think, just for holding space and not trying to take over other people's things. But like when you're not coming in like in a leadership role, because you're not trying to lead anybody in anything, you're just trying to understand them, how they work, how they operate, just feeling it out, right? It's such a Pisces thing. But when you're feeling things out and you feel people being frustrated with you because you're not doing what they want you to do, and they're not understanding why you can't just adhere and bow down, or take that path, or like buy this course, you know what I mean, like whatever, and you're just kind of like, well, I'm just learning, I'm understanding, and I'm not just understanding what it is that's being taught to me. I'm understanding how those people operate, and in the way in which their scales work, and how, like there's so much more to understand about anything than just the topic at hand, right? Pisces gets that. And I think that there's a decision to go toward, I don't know if it's someone who just gets it. You know what I mean? Like it's hard to explain it to people who don't get it. You know what I mean? Like you get it or you don't get it. And I feel like Pisces, you're an intelligent person. Like you have a different type of brilliance than most people do. And because it's different, I don't think that people always understand, like, how do I categorize this? How do I put you in a box? You're just like, well, about that, like it's really hard to do. It's really hard to put me in a box. It's really hard to fit me in a category. And when you can't fit me in a category and you can't put me in a box, you get frustrated with me. And when you're frustrated with me, you don't want anything to do with me. And I can already tell that this is a whole thing. And I can recognize the pattern at the onset. And maybe that's just the story that I'm destined to live. Oh, sad face Sally all around this energy. But I don't think that again, I don't think that energy like holds true for very long, because I think that, well, and maybe somebody makes an offer to you. Maybe somebody finally gets it and they see it and they see all of the things that you did and all of the work that you put in and all the understanding that you were gathering and all of the variations of that information that you were accumulating. Because most people would go in and accumulate the semantics, because to them, that's where all the information is. But that's not really where all the information is at all. Not if you're studying people, you know? Cultures, the way cultures impact people, the patterns that you recognize no matter where you go. I mean, there's I think that you're crossing over into something that is sustainable, because it's not boxing you in. It's not trying to shove you in the box. I think it's recognizing your creativity. It, they, he, she, whatever. I'm just keeping it abstract because it's abstract to me. But I do think that like you're in this energy of feeling this way, but I just kind of feel like you're not going to be there long. Let's do clarifiers. I don't know. Well, maybe because that's how you're feeling right now. And I just like, hang in there, love, hang in there. People mock belief because belief requires faith in the fact that you don't have to take the hunter's approach. If it's meant for me, it will be. And if I came here with reason, then that reason will find me, as long as I am seeking that reason, And I just kind of feel like, instead of feeling mocked for your faith, you feel rewarded. The Wheel of Fortune. Yeah. Yeah. Because it's such a, I talk about healing, right? When you step out on faith and I think that we have to build that, that skill. That's not a skill that everybody has naturally. And some people are going to have it more naturally than others. Pisces is one of those people, and I think that you've had it more naturally than the people around you. And because you've had it more naturally than the people around you have been really frustrated with you because you aren't doing everything that you need to do. Get in this box. And you're like, I'm really sorry. Poof. But again, this decision, the emperor, the king, the threshold, the Wheel of Fortune, I just feel like you are, sorry, I meant to do this and this. I feel like this is a decision that solidifies your faith. I don't know. I just feel like your faith is being rewarded. There's this book that I totes love. It's called Hind's Feet on High Places. My mother gave it to me years ago, and my son and I read it this past fall, and it was the first time that I had reread it in years, but it pops to my mind now because there's a point in time when she's sitting there and she had gathered these rocks, like not crystals, like pebbles, through all of her journeys up to the high places. And at the very end, there's this massive, like landfall that goes and they hide in this crevice. Like it's not even like a room, you know what I mean? Like it's a crack in the side of the mountain. and wait for this storm to pass. And while they're waiting for the storm to pass, she takes out these pebbles and she's looking at them and she's like, what have I gained from these pebbles? Like, and then she remembers from each of the pebbles the lessons that she learned from each of those things. And that was her last moment before entering into the high places. And Pisces, I feel like you are entering into the high places. I feel like your faith is being restored. I feel like your pebbles are being turned into the gems that create your crown. Oh, emotional, emotional. But it feels like the best kind of emotional. Like I wish that I could just feel this way in my real life. Just tap in. I'll be a Pisces for a day. You've got the one in the Lovers. And Pisces, well, and Venus is in Pisces. And if you have a Venus in Pisces placement, you just love to get lost in love, I just lose, like, just let me be lost in it. Let me swim in this emotion because I have felt so isolated in this experience. Oof, Pisces. That I was ready to give up hope, but when I looked back over everything, I realized that what I gained were the lessons along the way and the strength that I had sought in the first place to, to take a journey that required so much work. That didn't look like work to other people. On faith that it would not go without reason, that it would be a vital part of the journey. I don't know, because it's just like emotion, and it's changing. Everything is changing for you, and I don't think that you feel alone anymore, and I think you just want to lose yourself in it because it feels so nice and so refreshing, like a refreshing, like going to the hot springs, like best thing in the world. And coming out and feeling refreshed, feeling renewed. I think feeling like you're able to really sustain something that you're passionate about. And quite frankly, I think that it's somebody that you are just in love with. I mean, Pisces, Venus, in love, lost in it type of emotion. And maybe for some of you all, there was like, you experienced a split, and it was like just another breakup. You're like, I've been down this road so many times. I always see it coming. And I feel like there's just this sense of, why do I even bother trying? Like however it resonates for you, I just feel like there is this like, why even bother trying? But I think that somebody, like you're connecting with somebody who, I don't know if it's somebody that you know, if it's somebody from your past, because the hunter, I don't feel like you're in the hunter energy. I don't know that you ever really truly exist in the hunter energy, And if you do exist in the hunter energy, you are in the distance, viewing them, thinking about how maybe you'll throw some dust in the air and they'll breathe it in. Like you're like all out here. You're not hunting aggressively. You know what I mean? It's not your energy. I don't know, Pisces. I feel like somebody gets it. And I'm so thankful for that, because it's hard to explain things to people when it's so out of the context of their understanding. And when you can't ever explain things to people, you don't ever feel heard. And if you never feel heard and you always feel like you're an inconvenience, then, like it can be difficult. It's like the only way you can feel happy is to escape. And then you get caught in the cycle of escapism, and that, I think, weighs on you heavily in a negative way too. Pisces. Well, the shadow dance, the Eight of Swords and the Ten of Swords, the Ten of Cups and the Empress. I'm going to go ahead and say that that's just like, again, you feeling like nobody takes me seriously. Nobody really wants me around. Nobody really da 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 da. You know, everybody just wants to get rid of me. Pisces. And that, and if that doesn't resonate with you and you're like, I don't really feel that way, you know, then this read isn't for you. Take what resonates, how it resonates, and leave the rest. And I'm not saying that this is like your constant state of being. We're tapping into an energy that you are sorting through right now. You know, and it feels like it's just always like the redheaded stepchild of everyone, you know? The person who's always looking in and wanting to understand and wanting to do these things, but you can't because it's not yours, because that's not how you identify, because that's not, you don't do things according to the way that we do them. So you can't sit at our table, basically, you know, what it amounts to, the feeling that it incites. But again, you know, like with the Empress and the Ten of Cups, the Wheel of Fortune, well, you have the Empress and the Emperor. Love that. With the Ten of Cups, the Wheel of Fortune, the King of Swords, the King and the Lovers, and the One, and the Sustainer. I just feel like somebody sees you differently. Maybe it was somebody who was on the outside of one of these things too, you know? And they could see what you were saying. But I almost say that maybe it's one of those things where, like, you know, you've gone through these different arenas, these different types of people, and every time you go and you think, oh, you know, like, I'll make a connection here, I'll make a connection there, and you make the connection, but then it ends and it feels like it ends abruptly because of this sense of irritation due to your lack of sincere adherence to the process, to the program, to the whatever, you know. But I like, you are learning things that, like, nobody else is paying attention to those things. Like, who else is like, okay, well, while everyone else has their heads up the, you know, ass of whatever it is that they're, you know, in, because I think you feel really frustrated. You know, I just feel like, because when people are critical of you, I think it's a natural reaction for anybody, doesn't matter what sign you are, to be like, I'm sorry, let me, you know, like, let me pull you down off your pedestal really quick so you can see that you are genuinely a person who's just like me. You know, like maybe, I don't know. And I have a Pisces midheaven, and I have a really difficult time with authority. And I have a really difficult time with people who want to tell me that I have to adhere to a certain way of behaving. You know, like, I have to stick to the system, because I personally don't trust any of the systems. But I understand that, like, the significance of them. And in order to understand how, you know, like, why something isn't working, you need to understand it. You need to go through the belly of the beast. You know, and I feel like you went through the belly of the beast, and the beast was like, bitch, get out. But you learned a lot along the way, you know? And I feel like maybe for some of you, you know, there was somebody who, like, you crossed paths with. And like, I don't know, I feel like maybe this person like took interest in what you were doing, and they were doing something different and it didn't align with what you were doing, and that was fine, but like they were still like hearing you out, like maybe just like checking in every once in a while. And for whatever reason, like you made it to the high places. Like the tables have turned, the fates have changed, the prophecy has changed. And all of that, I feel like all of that irritation that you experienced, all of that, like anger that you felt come from other people, all, like all the times that you felt like, well, if anybody would just listen to me, like sincerely, but everybody just wants to talk at me about themselves. I don't know. That's not the case anymore, Pisces. That is not the case anymore. I don't know how this is going to play out for y'all or how it will all go down, because I do kind of feel like this person reaches out to you, you know? Obviously, it depends on what all you have in your chart, and, like these are general reads, so, take what resonates, how it resonates, and leave the rest. But the Bardo in the box, yeah. I think that somebody paid attention to you outside of the context of the box that you weren't fitting in. Somebody within an organization, somebody within and they were like this kid can't cut it because this kid doesn't fit in any of these boxes. I don't know, kid. you know, this person. I can see why they're not like how this would be a feeling. And I just, like, I don't want you to feel that way anymore. I feel like this other person is like, I do not want you to feel that way. Like, I do not want you to question how important you are. I do not want you to question the value that you bring, the understanding that you have, like the knowledge that you've acquired, like the journey that you've taken. I just feel like this person is really, I think they respect you. I think that they hear you. I don't think that they want to put you in a box. Like, I feel like that's the opposite of what's happening, which is why I feel like there's such a like a shift in the, because they're the overall energy that I am feeling is of complete and utter exhaustion and defeat. And then somehow someone comes out of somewhere who's been watching you not fit in any of these boxes, thinking, I know why. I just don't know why. And I don't know, like, if they have a conversation with someone, because I feel like for some people there's just this idea of like they run into somebody and they're like, they mention your name, and they go back and they check on you again. And when they go back and they check on you again, even though you're still you're somebody very, very different, because you were sincere in all of the understandings and all of the educations and all the trainings and all the things. You took it seriously. You know, you didn't take it seriously in the way that they expected you to. And so you offended them and you upset them, but you took it seriously. You were like, well, I'm listening. I'm understanding. I am picking up what's being put down, logging it away, and making sure that I'm making use of it. And every time you do that, you shift a little bit more, you change a little bit more, you grow a little bit more, you understand more, you have better insight, like you've used these skills. So I don't know if they ran into somebody on the street and they mentioned your name or somehow your name comes up in like a conversation, because I feel like this person, I don't want to say they forgot about you, but like I feel like they kind of forgot about you. And then like your name comes up and they go back to check on you, and when they go back to check on you, they see like how all of these boxes have changed you and how you've grown and how you've done all, like there's this sense of, and then when they and then when they talk to you, or when they go back to talk to you, I feel like there's just this connection that you have with this person because they get it. Dear God, like I love this, Pisces. I love this. I love this. I love this times infinity. I hope so very much that it does resonate with you all. If it does, please do give me a like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much for sharing this energy with me. It was beautiful. Thank you so much for being here. And I will see y'all again soon. Bye.